Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is CMGTalk. This is Gallacher. At various times in the day, it can be helpful to practice gratitude. Gratitudes are where we recognise the times where we appreciate and value opportunities that come our way. We might appreciate the small things in life. It could be that we go along our day and we have a really nice interaction, connection with perhaps a work colleague, a family friend, a neighbour, or it might even be an acquaintance or a complete stranger who happens to take that time out to talk with you. Appreciating and recognising small gratitudes helps us psychologically. It boosts our mental health. It releases those natural chemicals that make us feel good. Research has shown practicing gratitude is a really good thing to do. I've got in the habit over many years now to practice gratitude mindfully. I actively process gratitude. I'm grateful when I get a parking space, when someone opens the door for me. I'm grateful for doing this podcast for you. I like to make an opportunity and see and find opportunities to find gratitude. You see, as human beings, our brain will often point towards the negative. It can be very easy to get into the habit of seeing what's not right, what's not good enough, what we don't have, what we deserve more of. We often look for the negative. But that often, when we get into the habit of that, it creates a toxic way of looking at things. We can often get into that deep state of mind. It's hard to get out of that. So when we practice something like gratitude, it helps us just to maintain that healthier way of living, healthier way of thinking. Now, don't get me wrong. Clearly, there are times where we might struggle to find gratitude. We might have difficulty, challenges. Gratitude is about appreciating even the challenges we have. Gratitudes are about acknowledging that life can have difficulty, but we grow, we learn, and we become more, better, hopefully, when we have those challenges. You see, for me, I believe and trust that life will present opportunities for me. And the more that I'm open to receiving, I have to believe to receive to achieve. Believe to receive to achieve. I'm a very practical person. I'm a realist at times. I can also be exceptionally optimistic as well. I'm not one thing. Many of us are not one thing. Because we're human, we have different emotions at different times, and often in different days. In a day, we can have a range of emotions. I prefer, though, to have the ability and the knowledge and understanding to manage emotions and regulate my emotions in a healthier way. I'd rather go through the day being able to boost my mental health than stay with a negative way of looking at things. Appreciation, respect, valuing you, trusting in life, and understanding that, as a very wise woman used to say to me, what's for you won't go by you. She used to say to me, lady, what's for you won't go by you. Whenever I used to, or any of us, used to find things were challenging. What's meant to be will be, and what's for you won't go by you. I'll always remember that. I live by that. I truly believe that when life gives us opportunities, gives us challenges, we either have a choice of receiving them or we choose to overlook them. Sometimes if we're so stuck in a negative way of thinking, we don't even see them when they're there in front of us. Gratitude. A very useful way of thinking. A practice in gratitude. Whether you write down your gratitudes, list your gratitudes. Sometimes people rhyme their gratitudes off. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my friendships. That's not gratitude. For me, being grateful is naming what you're grateful for and saying why and the impact that you appreciate. I'm grateful that I got this parking space because it means that I now have time. And I won't be in a rush, which means I'll feel calmer and more rested or more relaxed and more able to deliver. Or I'll be more attentive and I won't feel as stressed. It's the why am I grateful. I'm grateful for this person in my life and I acknowledge the qualities they bring to me and what that then does for me. How it impacts on me. And I wonder, do I tell them that enough, often enough, that I appreciate, that I respect, that I love, that I am grateful for them? Gratitude gives meaning. Gratitude elevates our mood. Gratitude helps to deepen connections. Also helps us to see things often how they really are, to get a balanced perspective. Because sometimes we use universals. Everything's terrible. All things are terrible. But when we break down and really look at things as a whole, and we see that it's not everything. It's maybe that thing or a couple of things. And we see the things we're truly grateful for, we're truly appreciative of in our life, then we are more resilient and more able to then deal with the things that we're actually struggling with. Gratitude. Gratitudes, whether you write down a gratitude journal, a gratitude notebook, whether you have your gratitudes in your head, whether you use a voice note and you speak and talk them out. For me, whenever I have a gratitude, I actively anchor it. I say it out loud, there and then. I let that happen. What would you do? What are you doing? When you're practicing gratitude, how will you practice your gratitudes?